There we go. Alright. So, yeah, I probably want to get... I was like, immediately, as you open that, are you just going to chew directly into the mic?
Of course.
The Mensa cage is the true cage, but I like the metal guarding on this helm. Plus, I think... Do I have the Mensa's cage as one of my things? Can't remember if I do. No, but I have that right. Remembering all my configurations of stuff. Are you already dead, phone? Yeah, you're dead. The battery on that thing, like, disappears so quickly.
There are things called chargers.
Yes, but at the same time, I only place chargers in certain locations in my house.
That is fair.
The official stream stack. It pretty much is.
It's just irritating enough to be a pain in the ass.
Unless you're going for like one of those streams where you just critique and talk about food, the social eating streams, like yeah.
The stickies are quite a nice addition to any event.
But they're also one of the only chip companies that like has not altered their stuff in like decades at this point. And like their recipe and whatnot has stayed the same. Whereas
Still uses potato.
well, here's the thing. I can remember a time when Lay's wasn't complete shit. When Lay's were actually good. However, those gays
are over.
Those gays are over. They're over, guys. Yeah, no, it's just like Lay's were at one point okay chips. Then they ceased to be. Especially after they started doing all the stupid fucking flavors.
Yeah.
All the flavor contests and stuff like that.
It's funny because Pringles technically aren't chips. They're made from a dough, not a potato. So in England, they don't have the chip tax. Which they had to go to court for.
Go like that. And we go like that. Now we have new insight. And now, can I still talk to her?
Welcome. What is it?
Wow, I can still talk to her with no
Welcome.
insight. That is interesting.
That means your pickup lines are terrible.
You need mad. Guy walks into a bar, crushes a madman's knowledge. I'm getting laid tonight.
I have a vast array of knowledge that actually has zero function in life. It gets me nowhere.
Well, it helps my streams not have complete dead air. I'm just blankly staring at my screen.
Well, I mean, I guess I could talk about Pringles more, but really it's just they finally released the ketchup, which I'm not a fan of at all. But like, a little late to the party there, bud.
I could never, like, people are always like, yo, ketchup chips are awesome. It's like,
When I just
Never
dip
did.
my chips in ketchup, you know what I mean?
like, never could, like, what's so special about the taste? You do get insects. So you pop insight to maybe get a summon to help you with the boss, and then you get some additional insight after the boss.
There's a difference between wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is being able to repeat what you read in a book. Wisdom is just generally being intelligent for things that don't really matter until afterwards, if you know what I mean.
I'd say it's almost being able to use the knowledge that you have and improvise off of it, and use it in specific situations.
That's
Like, wisdom is being able to teach someone else what you know.
knowledge is just repeating what you already gained.
Exactly.
Or what you've heard.
Yeah, or what most university students try to do for an exam.
Yeah. Which is cram, study, and then flunk.
Yeah. You forgot the nervous breakdown 2 nights before, and then acceptance after you finish it.
And then the sudden realization that none of it matters and you're working at McDonald's. Thanks, degree. You've really helped me be able to cook fries.
Or the professor made the final exam super fucking easy, so you nearly aced the thing.
And then you can't find a job in your field of feminist interpretive dance therapy anywhere.
This is going to be interesting. I just realized, and I think, who was it who said it? Streampunk Horror pointed it out. I'm going to get insight as soon as I step inside this fucking boss, so I'm not going to have 0 insight anymore. God damn it, you're right. I need to think about that.
Wisdom versus knowledge comes into play.
Exactly. But you know what, we're already here.
Huh.
Plus, I can probably beat this boss anyway.
But back to ketchup chips versus ketchup. Ketchup itself actually has quite a bit amount of sugar in it, being about like 30 to 40% sugar.
Yep.
Whereas the ketchup chips really just have a cheap, tomatoey crap flavor to them. And some people love them. I personally am not a huge fan. I'll eat them if they're in front of me, but I'm not going to go out of my way for it.
Exactly.
You really can't translate that sugar flavor onto a dry powder coating of a chip. I don't know.
And it's just like, I can understand the various varieties of chips and stuff, but at the same time, as long as your recipe is pretty good, like for example what we're having, you don't need much outside of what the maker does to the chip and decent salt to be good. Now there is a balance to how much salt is on said chip, because there are definitely chips that are way too salty.
Oh yeah, Ruffles.
Yeah, no, like you can physically feel after eating a bag of Ruffles.
Yeah. And I think with it, if you're actually making your own chips, just super thin on the other side. So you can see it in the taste, a little bit of salt, maybe some butter, but you don't really need it. But during like a smoke, like smoke. This boss seems fairly simple.
Yeah, right? And like the thing is, if you have no insight, these guys from the sides don't appear. The only thing that happens is that these witches of Hemet spawn them in. I would say, like, it all depends on what your medium is. Like, you can have plenty of salt and additional sodium, like additional sodium is very tasty at times. However, when the sodium outweighs the medium that you're putting on top of it, then it's not so good.
Now, there's a point with salt where it feels like I'm eating sand.
Yes, yes.
That's generally after I dump the salt shaker into my mouth. But, yeah, there's a few more steps for me to,
And this is the problem. The second one can regenerate health.
Well, you just gotta regenerate.
Indeed. Like, the thing is that the boss isn't even the problem in this scenario because the boss has hardly any attacks. It's the ads that are actually the problem.
You look a little irritated.
Well, that's also the reason that I came in here. During the daytime, because these things, if you come here at the night, these things just auto spawn in. So that can become quite an annoying problem.
I have eaten things that are so salty as to getting indigestion and chest pains. The real kicker, though, is if your left arm starts to hurt from eating something too salty, you should probably call an ambulance at that point.
Because that's like nerve damage almost.
No, you have an artery that runs straight from your left arm into your heart.
Right.
And that is a precursor to heart attack.
Alright.
I mean, I'd rather die at 75, happy, eating what I want, than die at 90, spending the last 10 years on tubes and life support, but, you know.
Yeah. To each their own.
Exactly. I mean, I'll eat cake for breakfast, which I've done for the past 2 weeks and regretted it around 11:30. But, you know. Actually, if you look at people who are born in like the 20s and 30s who are still alive today, there's some combination of salt, butter, and a little bit of indirect accidental racism that just really survives anything. Like old retired white folks right now, they're just toxic, but they're so toxic they kill off, like, dying of old age.
Well, it's the anomaly of only the good ones die young.
Well,
Cupcake for breakfast.
now the difference between a cupcake and a muffin is 2 grams of sugar and frosting.
Alright.
Well, we love you too.
Don't know why, but the Louis C.K. bit about the word faggot just popped into my head. It's like, I wouldn't call another gay guy like a faggot. Like, two dudes could just be blowing each other in a back alley, and I wouldn't call him a faggot. But if the guy turned around and said something faggy to me, I'm gonna call him a fucking faggot. It's like one of my favorite bits that he's ever done.
It really just touches on how words have evolved. Like, fag used to mean cigarette.
Exactly.
And now then it meant, like, homosexual. Now it means kind of stupid, you know what I mean?
You want to take that one?
So essentially, if there are two gentlemen sucking each other's schlong dongs in a back alley, I would, the person we're paraphrasing wouldn't necessarily say, or call them a faggot unless one of them said something faggy or faggoty, as some would say. Then they would call them a faggot. You know, I'm gonna be honest, it's pretty gay to like dick. So, yeah.
Let's see, where the hell is it now? But, going back to the discussion on words, I was recently going through a bunch of old, video cassettes because we're just recycling a bunch of stuff, and I found, a whole bunch of old, Thomas the Train cassettes.
Okay.
The thing that I've heard, like, everybody knows that Ringo Starr voiced the narrator on a lot of Thomas stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who the other main narrator of Thomas was?
No.
George Carlin.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
So this then prompted me to go online and search for all George Carlin Thomas stuff, but synced up with his stand-up.
Oh no.
Fucking amazing.
Have you heard his 7 dirty words?
Of course.
Bit?
It's the first one that you listen to, and it's the one that you can continuously come back to. And that's kind of where I was going with that plot, because not only is it a funny bit, but he also makes a lot of good points.
He does.
About how we think about words.
Yeah. Actually, I have a customer at work who, of course, will remain anonymous. But instead of swear words, she uses baking terms such as muffin mix or egg beaters. It's quite comical.
It's pretty good.
Right? So if we don't have a product, or if something bothered her with her day, instead of, like, fuck, shit, and tiddlywink and dickholes, just exclaim a baking term. Like cup of flour or something. It's great. But she'll yell this with the voice of the Spartans going to war, which really makes me question where I'm at in life, having not yelled baking terms with the death threat implications in my tone of voice.
Alright, where's the other one? I honestly should have done that at work when I was working at a summer camp, because believe me, working in a kitchen, serving food to small children, there's a breaking point where you just...
Here's your fucking soup,
There's a point where you just have to... Go burn your insight, dude. Like, just go buy fire paper is the easiest one, because since it costs so much, it's the easiest thing to purchase. Like, bring yourself down to 0, and then if you need more for another time, you just use the Mad Men's Knowledge CEO store. Yeah, no, it's just like I don't care. Like, just let me do my thing, because it's never collective. Kids, that's the problem. It's always like 1 or 2.
Oh.
And like, well, you obviously know this from customer work. It's like, it's never the majority of customers that's a problem.
No.
But it's that one.
Well, I've worked at a camp as well. I was a martial arts camp, which when you're teaching 41 kids, most of which have attention disorders, how to fight with sticks, it's really not great because you're trying not to yell and beat them all when you know, they don't listen. And one of them happens to have heard the word dildo from his mother, single mother or something, and he's decided that everyone needs to know what dildo means.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh god. Just randomly spawn in because I had insight. Fuck, what was it? There was... I remember we got called into the... I don't know if it was or I don't care. We got called into the dining hall. It was between sessions. And we had a chat with, or rather, the counselors had a chat. I was working on basic food prep and just listening, and at times trying not to laugh. There was a conversation. Apparently, one of the older boys' cabins was out on the water doing various things, and apparently the conversation where they were exclaiming how dicks were volcanoes that exploded out where with cum. And it was just like, I had to step behind a wall and just start laughing because it was so fucking funny. But I couldn't let my camp director see that I found it funny. Okay. Read that. Guess. Yeah, we'll be going
So when I was working at the camp, there was this one kid. There was an Asian brother and sister were at the camp, and there was another kid who he had a learning disability, and every time he saw the Asian kid's parents, he would bow to them, and it was great because he would go out of his way to bow to these Asian people, and then go about his business, and for 2 weeks, every single day at pickup time, he would just bow and stare at them till they acknowledged his bow, and I couldn't function. I had to sit down. It was
because at that point
I didn't know what to do.
Like, you're in that position. It's like, okay, don't laugh because that's rude.
But is it rude? like if the parents are giggling because they don't want to get upset, like it's a laugh or cry kind of scenario. They're like. I just like, what do? Do you tell the kid to stop bowing? What if they take offense? What if they appreciate the bow?
I don't know.
So
here's the bow. But it's also like a nice sort of scimitar weapon.
Okay. Yeah, that bow. I always remember that.
God, I'm trying to think of other ones that I've witnessed.
Oh man, there was this one. This one's a little gross, but it's worth telling.
Okay, cool.
There was a kid. Well, basically, we got there in the morning. Washrooms are all clean. Hour and a half later, the kids are buzzing that there's a huge mess in there. So I go in to check it out, and a kid has essentially finger painted on the walls and floor in. Shit, as I'll put it. So it's all over the walls, the floor, and the toilet. And basically what happened was he clogged it, and he decided that the best way to deal with it was to take it out and just smear it everywhere. So he actually grabbed this turd out of the porcelain throne and smeared it on the surfaces nearby. So basically we put all it was in the boys' washroom. So we put all the guys in one room and said, okay, we know what happened. We don't know who it was. No one's leaving this room until we solve the problem. Yeah. So after 10 minutes of silence, this one kind of quiet, awkward kid stood up, just looked at his feet and said, I did it, and then walked out of the room.
Yeah.
With the main counselor going, okay, you're gonna clean this up. So we phoned his parents, and his parents said, oh, Again? He did it again? As if this wasn't the first time, and potentially may not be the last. I don't know, how much of that is parenting, how much of that is the kid?
Yeah. Like, I think one of my favorite things that I always, love that my camp director always said was like, camp should be for everyone. It's like, everyone should give camp a try. I'm not saying camp is for everyone. Like, there are people who don't like camp. I didn't like camp when I was a kid. I hated going to overnight camp. I'm not the kind of person, like, until university, I wasn't the kind of person who wanted to be out of my house in some other world that I didn't understand.
Oh, exactly.
I always just, like, every time she said that, I was like, you know, I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, you know, there's a couple kids that I know would be much happier at home. Now, the possibility of having that happen is dependent upon a lot of factors.
Pizza.
Forgot my pizza.
Pizza is a core element to everything and anything.
Yeah. Let's just go on.
Instead of an app for everything, I believe there's a pizza for everything.
Okay, since you've said that, what's your opinion on the whole pineapple pizza thing?
I personally love pineapple in all of its forms. I will barbecue it, put it on pizza, eat it by itself, dip it in whatever. Cookies go well with pizza. I've put like ginger snaps on pizza. That was surprisingly delicious, to be honest. But I just like anchovies as well. I enjoy anchovies on pizza. I'll put anchovies on a cracker with like an oyster or something. I mean, where do you stand?
What I've heard is that the generic, like, Hawaiian, like, ham pineapple is, like, I've had it before, and it's like, yeah, it's pretty good. And I like pineapple. It's, like, one of the only fruits that I often like to eat. Like, if there's a fruit salad, I will sort of avoid other fruits to just go for the pineapple at times, because oftentimes it's a slightly better quality, especially if you've got that green melon. I can't even remember.
Oh, the honeydew.
Yeah, the honeydew. Fucking honeydews. I hate them.
There's a movie called The Ant Bully where honeydew in that movie essentially is caterpillar shit.
Well, thank you very much. No, honeydews fucking suck. And believe that part of the reason that I hate honeydews is when working at camp and having to cut them open, honeydews provide so little fruit to them. And also, nobody eats them. So they go bad in, like, 2 days.
Ideal cookie flavors are ginger snap or chocolate chip. But anyways, actually, pineapple is quite a bastard of a fruit in my opinion. So if you've ever eaten pineapple and you get that almost sharp or kind of tangy, stingy feeling in your mouth, pineapple has a protein dissolving agent to it.
Yeah.
So more or less what it's doing is eating your mouth. I don't know what Cthulhu tastes like, but I'm very, very curious now.
Combination of, like, squid, fish, and madness.
I'll take extra madness on that.
But what I've heard with the proper way to do sort of Hawaiian pizza is get the ham out of there and put chicken instead. I've heard that's a much better combination.
The thing is, you always have to have bacon I prefer strips over crumble because the high salt content really balances out the sweetness of the pineapple, and then the ham itself is a kind of a salty sweet meat as it is, especially if it's like a honey ham or something.
Okay, yeah.
And chicken, you can mix anything with chicken. Chicken is a very salty meat, if properly seasoned, in my opinion. Or you can do like a herb chicken with the pineapple, that's sweet and savory. Really, really nice combination. And the bacon, just that one layer that appears to be missing, fills in the gap.
Still working on the spices.
I don't know, but I feel like Cthulhu is a huge fan of...
Time.
Right?
Right?
That just makes sense. Now, rosemary and paprika complement thyme pretty well. Not sure if that would go into cookies as opposed to thyme, for example. But that's just my personal take on that one.
Okay, now that that's done. Fuck off.
What do the shadows ever do to you?
Besides blatantly ripping off Lord of the Rings, I don't know what.
That's fair. You should murder them.
Lock. Away.
The other things Cthulhu is like onion powder, garlic powder, has that terrible breath to him because it's just devouring souls and things for eternity. Anything that would make your breath smell like a beluga whale's asshole or something, I don't know. Okay, if you traded cookies for a tattoo, I'm not a tattoo artist, but I would do my very, very best with my grade 3 level penmanship to tattoo you in return for cookies.
Yeah, that's one thing I've always wondered is which of the two of us has the worst penmanship?
Mine looks like an autistic chicken having a seizure. What?
Well, the thing is, I never got to see your penmanship in class because you always never brought anything to class.
Yeah, well then there was those 2 years where I had like broken thumbs and it was splinted up.
True.
We should get a whiteboard for the stream. That'd be entertaining. Basically, if you ever see a child making, like grabbing a pencil with a fist and just kind of these wide circular arm motions, that's probably more intelligent looking than my calligraphy.
However, you have to remember, I can't write R's, yet my name has multiple of them.
Well, I mean, I can talk for hours.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, I thought about doing a 50 Shades of Grey reading at one point, and then I realized at the end of the book is me being gay. If I ever made it through. But... That joke was ripped off of the Louis C.K. newest bit where he's talking about watching Magic Mike.
You know, like, I actually sat through and watched Magic Mike. There's only once. It's what I find odd is that they attempted to write a story and, like, create a plot.
Alright, just for you, I won't read that.
Whereas it seems that the sequel, they're trying to do what everyone thought the first film was going to do. Yeah, this one. Get around the tree. Get around the tree.
Okay, why don't you just cut down the tree with your sword? Cut down the tree with your sword.
I can't cut down the tree with my sword.
Well, that's a design flaw.
Yeah, I know.
The thing with
Bad game design.
my issue with 50 Shades of Grey is if the main character, if he wasn't a billionaire, that would be a Criminal Minds episode.
Yes.
But there's actually a spoof movie called 50 Shades of Black.
Yeah.
I've seen that start to finish. There's some funny parts. There's some why is this here parts. Overall, I wouldn't watch it by myself, and I probably would not watch it a second time. But I don't know. That's just me.
I don't, like, why would they put an area back there that you can go, that you can't jump down to the area down below?
I am no tree. That's what I meant, maybe.
Get away.
It's actually scary how much people can get away with just because they have money. Not even that they use it, just the social status.
Yeah.
That they have, like that.
That I am a multimillionaire CEO.
Yeah, that hierarchy that isn't supposed to exist, but really does, like the caste system in India. It kind of exists everywhere, just not to that same degree.
Yeah, that was great. Never even thought about doing that. Appreciate when, like, he's barreling up in front of me, yet I shoot to the direct left of him. Full screen talk.
I mean, we've all got to-do lists if we won the lottery. My dream job is to win the lottery without ever buying a ticket, which I've heard is very, very hard to do. But we'll figure it out.
How exactly does the feasibility of that plan work?
That's for me to figure out.
I see.
I'll deal with the behind-the-scenes work for that one. But if I had that kind of money, there's better things I'd do with my time. I don't know, like hire a personal chef for all meals of the day. You know, maybe get a hot tub or at least a jacuzzi. Buy some new socks. You know, like the key things in life that really make the difference between the good days and the great days. Oh, of course, I'd help out. At least one lady if I win the lottery, yes.
Oh, this is a bad place. Oh, God. Oh! There we go. Now we end this.
I believe I have all of my organs still in me. That said, things happen, but for now we're all intact.
Yep.
I mean, what would you do with the rest of the money, though? Because I'm assuming there's... Unless, of course, you're, like, living in one of Trump's buildings. You're more than the lottery would be left if you paid off your house.
Mm-hmm. And even then, oftentimes those buildings are not worth what they say they are.
Oh no, you're paying quite a bit of money just for the company that owns the property.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next would be let's go do him next. So let's load up the Ludwigs.
There's just so much scrolling in this game.
Oh god, yeah. Well, especially with the additional gem system, and I always forget to bank all the gems that are completely useless. Then,
I'm on board with the new PC and the Apocalypse prep.
Mm-hmm.
And some random.
I know I gotta take out my trash, but I always just forget to.
Yeah, my issue is I basically, like, I've got 2 garbage bins in my bedroom. When one's full, I kind of hide it and start using the other one. And then when they're both full, I kind of go, oh, okay, I really gotta take them out, I guess.
So where do I need to go? Yeah, the woods. Find the point. I'm the trash man. Dream job. Cap. Dream job.
Dream job.
I'd like to be like high up producer for a movie studio, probably Legendary. Just to be able to like green light stuff and just like, hey, this person's like, this is an actually new and interesting idea. I will give you money.
Yeah, I think my dream job would honestly have to be a voice actor. More or less flexible hours, you can kind of take the jobs you want. Enough money to live off of with not having to work every day, more time for family and friends.
Well, it depends who employer. If you get onto Blizzard's pocketbook, you're fine.
Well, if you get a big enough contract where you can like work a week, take a week off, go travel, you know, take the missus somewhere, like that's.
Whoop.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh
God.
no.
This is bad.
This is terrible.
We're committing to it. Oh well.
I just think family and friends should come before work, but because you could rack up a fortune and have no one to enjoy it with, or live comfortably and have people to enjoy what you've got.
Yeah. Like my thing is both to that, and I also like. I want to see. I'm not big. Like, as long as the bills are paid and I can live well and provide for whatever family I have, I want the finished product of my work to be something that I can show to people and be proud of. Like, that's why I want to do movie production, because it's like, yeah, you could work in a I'm going to get the tonsil stone. I guess, yeah, we're going to need it to go after amygdala, now that you say that. Because, yeah, it shortcuts our way to amygdala a lot faster than doing it the other way.
Okay, what would your dream job be?
Yeah, how about you, chat? Go this way. Is it this way? Yeah, it's past there. Yeah, we're gonna have to grab the tonsil stone, which should be nearby, if things are correct. Tattoo artist.
A friend of mine just got a job as a tattoo artist. He loves it. It's a really, probably one of my favorite forms of art, to be honest. Because a painting, you can move, you can hide, you can cover. But a tattoo, it's on you, it's a part of you. Sometimes they make a statement, sometimes they don't. But it's just a nice, customizable, personal, what you want.
Hurst. Oh yeah, I won't have to fight her now that I think about it. Put on all these fancy clothes and this big old sword for nothing.
Fashion. It's for fashion.
It is for fashion.
You don't feel good if you don't look good.
Sure.
Which is a terrible message in society, and I am not promoting it, I'm just quoting it.
Yeah, thanks. Toxic. Or Steampunk 4.
Yeah, my buddy works for a tattoo shop, but he also does house calls. So he'll come to you, or you can go to him. And the nice thing that he does is he does payment options. So if you can only afford $25 a week, he'll do $25 of work a week per session. Instead of doing like these several $100 chunks, and then you're screwed because you can't pay it. So it takes a lot longer to get work done sometimes, but he's really honest and open with it. Great guy.
Oh, that's the worms. I don't like the worms.
Like the thing with working for a tattoo shop is you can't set your own hours. You've got to work at a certain pace. You can't take your time in some cases. You have the potential to get more customers for more money, but if you work for yourself, you know.
Nope. There we go.
So Sorry, what state is that? I'm not too sure what you mean by that one.
I'm guessing continental, but we'll see what they say.
Oh, maybe a geographical state.
I guess.
We will hopefully find out soon. Yeah, 9/11 French. What did you feel about that apprenticeship?
Yeah, geostate.
Okay, we're actually in Canada. Ontario to be specific.
That's as far as I go, personally.
Yeah.
Well, that's the interesting thing is that we don't, especially people from Ontario, don't exactly sound what people often think as a stereotypical Canadian. Thank you, Bunkor. Now we have the tonsil stone, so we can get that solved.
I mean, I'll say a sometimes, but I really don't say a boot. It's more about.
It really comes out in only specific situations and certain pronunciations of stuff.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes we get the more French versions of certain words and stuff like that, and we get it in. There's not too many other, like, it mostly comes down to writ. That's the main difference between Canadian and U.S. spellings is the amount of U's that we like to put in stuff.
Yeah, the other thing too is every province in Canada has its own way of speaking, with different accents here and there, and it's almost quite hard to tell. So it almost feels like a different language at some parts.
Well, especially when you're doing East versus West.
Yeah, like the southern accents, every single state is a totally different spoken language. But in terms of accents, what slang terms, you know.
Patterns of speech as well.
Yeah.
How much you slur your words versus how fast your diction is.
Oh, definitely.
Well, especially you go like out to Nova Scotia and whatnot, they talk so fucking fast.
Yeah, the East Coast is it's quite intense with their speech.
And yeah, I guess we'll just bolt past all these guys because I don't want to deal with them. Oh, cool. What games you play, Prey? Always looking for more Overwatch crew.
Yeah, I have to switch from PC to console for that. I get a new mic, I think.
Well, that's the nice thing about this, is because it's USB. I just run this and then just plug headphones in my television so that they don't, my TV doesn't pick up on my mic.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look at a new setup because Warframe and Overwatch. I played on PC Overwatch. Just more of my friends have console than PC is my issue. I feel like Warframe and Overwatch are better games to play with a group.
Yeah.
Like I play a lot of solo Overwatch, and it's fun, but it could be that one step better.
It's fun. I think playing solo Overwatch, doing comp or arcade mode is fun, but doing quick play and especially 3v3, you can run into people that you just really don't like playing with because
Overwatch is basically it reminds me of like a more dynamic Team Fortress 2, maybe.
I love Patches the Spider in this one. Have you seen the patches in this game?
No.
I'll show them to you. And we might be able to get to his special push again. Overwatch is what I would call the ultimate time sink because you can always put additional hours into it and improve your character slightly.
Like on PC, I have an average, like probably 60-65% accuracy with most of the characters. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Dota, League, Heroes of the Storm, and Overwatch mostly.
So, between those three, like League, HOTS, and Dota, what do you rank them?
Rank in terms of what?
How you like to play them, essentially.
I've put the most time into League. I think earlier seasons of League, like season 1 and 2 and maybe 3, were probably the best. League since has gotten more about money as opposed to gameplay. I think Dota is my favorite of the three because all of the characters are free to play. You don't need to purchase anything. It can be 100% free to play if you wish, or you can optionally buy aesthetic bonuses with no real changes to the game. League is... The community I find is very toxic. It's good if you have a group of friends to play with. And Heroes of the Storm, if you don't like long matches, the average game length is about 20 minutes. 25 is a long game.
Yeah. Whereas a League match can be 40 to an hour.
Yeah, well, Dota games are usually an hour plus. Dota is the most technical, League being second most technical. Heroes of the Storm is probably the simplest of the three, with a higher focus on team mechanics and map objectives than League. League focusing a lot on individual skill, and Dota focusing on individual skill early, and then team mechanics for mid to late game. So my overall ranking of enjoyment would probably be Dota first, Heroes second, League third. In terms of skill cap, Dota first, League second, Heroes third. There's definitely arguments for both of those statements, but...
I was going to ask, Bray brings up, wow, what is the current state now? Because I heard it, like, I checked out at Pandaria, and then the next expansion after Pandaria was which one?
After Pandaria was... a few months ago. The balancing and the updates and patches, basically all of my favorite classes were nerfed to unplayability in the sense that I'm more of a PvP player as opposed to a raider. And then when I swapped to the flavor of the month or more viable classes, they got nerfed and my personal favorites were then buffed, but I was so far behind was really difficult to find the motivation to attempt to catch up.
And gear switching between all of those is going to be
the state of WoW as it is, it's very, very pay to win. It's a difficult game to just pick up again. You really need to devote a lot of time and effort into it. It doesn't have those same casual applications it once did. It really is a grinding, time-consuming. You need to play a lot in order to be at an average level.
Yeah, MMOs are one of those things where, like, there's not many, I would say, like, are those that you can sort of walk away from and then come back to and still have fun. The only exception to that, I would say, is RuneScape.
Yeah, RuneScape is, because it's an individual game as opposed to, well, there are good aspects, but for the most part, it's solo. Whereas WoW, you have to at some point.
You have to team.
You have to. Like, there's some better runs in my shorts there, bud.
Game is on.
The thing with Resto Shamans is this entire expansion, they've been in a decent, then a really good, and slightly nerfed position. Resto Shamans and Resto Druids have been neck and neck for the top slots. Holy Paladins are always viable. I feel like they always will be. And Hunters, Beast Mastery being the probably top spec for versatility. Survival becoming a melee spec, this expansion has brought some unique elements to their table, and marksmanship remains that very high damage output, but useless if attacked spec. And
yeah, I grabbed the name very soon. It's what I thought I was going to have to fight her for, but I forgot that Her Summons is actually out of the way.
Elemental has actually brought a comeback to the point where it's better than Enhancement. Enhancement is still very, very strong, but it's seen more as a battleground and a 2 spec as opposed to a 3 spec. Battlegrounds being unranked random battlegrounds as opposed to rated. Yeah, I was gonna say, just trucking through that.
Invincibility on that. Nothing better.
Yeah, my issue with guilds is just that obligation factor. I've never joined guilds.
The thing is, my whole point of guilds is, I want to get into one because I'm either super into the game or I know people in there that I want to play with, either due to their play style or they're actually my friends. Warframe does have guilds.
Perfect.
Oh, and you get your own clan dojo that you can customize and create. I'll show you what mine looks like.
That's amazing.
And you can only craft certain weapons and armor from it. There's no other way to get it.
those older guilds have been around for a while, because the game had changed so much from its core original design. A lot of those older classic, better designed, better run guilds, they all quit. So it became extremely difficult to find even a meaningful guild at best. So I would usually just make my own and invite a couple people who I knew in real life, or I would just be the only member of the group and get those bot spam invites, which were quite frustrating.
Oh, I was going to bring up two things. One, did you see that RuneScape put out a documentary for its entire, 15-year life cycle?
No.
It's hour and 40 minutes long, pretty well produced.
I'm going to have to watch that.
It's
I put a
free
lot
on
of
YouTube.
time in original RuneScape.
What surprised me was that boss was pretty bad.
So
And Frenzy's gonna pop. Run.
So grab you again.
That's gonna pop again. One of the things that they explain in the documentary is the reason for taking out free trade.
Oh?
So the reason that it was happening was that at their time, back in, I think that was what, 2009?
Something like that.
So back in that point, they were so popular and worlds were super populated, but nobody realized that the population that they were seeing was actually like 80% bots. Get out of my way, please. And what was happening was RuneScape had become one of the worst gold selling situations on the current market.
Oh, it's still bad.
It's still pretty bad, but it wasn't
better.
as bad as it used to be. So they had the option of, okay, we can try, because the software didn't exist to root out and hunt bots, so they'd have to manually do it, and they don't have the manpower to be able to do that. So free trade was the knee-jerk. Free trade was, we need to fix this problem, and this is the only way we can do this. Free trade in the wilderness, so that no longer it would cut the money sellers, but it also hurt their player base as well. However, over time, they've now become like one of the best companies to combat bots. Like, they wrote a book on how to properly do it. So now, and they brought free trade back because they were able to fight their bots. But I found that astonishing. It was like, I was once so angry at this company for ripping out free trade, but now I understand it because they were getting in trouble with the credit card companies because people were coming at them. Yeah. We're gonna beat him with his own arm. They were getting in trouble by the credit card companies because people were, they would, like, maybe buy some cash using a credit card, but then they would just take their credit card number and continue to charge the card. So people would have to call in and, like, void their cards, and that would be traced back to attacking Jagex. So, yeah, fucking tough situation, and like they made a tough call, and it hurt them greatly player base wise. But at the same time, it might have saved their business from being like sued.
I think honestly, with bots is the genuine players who want to play the game, they know who the bots are.
And RuneScape, it was so easy.
And it just ruins the game. Like, you can't farm certain things.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't cut a huge tree.
Woodcutting, fishing, stuff like that. Mining was bad.
Even some bots.
Yeah.
Looting.
Green fucking dragons.
The male heavy WoW. I find that a lot of the random groups were you did get the odd creepy gentleman in there who was very much into internet hookups. That was just very uncomfortable for everybody. Not just the women of the group, but everybody. Just to touch on that comment. But yeah. Jagex, it's one, in my opinion, it's one of the better player communities. It's someone that listens to their players, and actually like takes the time to have polls on pretty much everything. And
Yeah. And
they just did a great job of listening.
We're now also at the point. Yeah. No, this is going to be in it. This was one of the ones that I was writing. It's like, this looks fun from a, like, almost poster standpoint, but by God, this is going to be a tough fight. Because what I really want is fast weapon versus him. It's also easy to work on. It's the arm flurry. I need to get rid of it.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of things in this. Quite sure we haven't covered at this point, to be perfectly honest. Sometimes there's more than just one guy, though. Emphasis on weird.
Yeah. And there's also, like most friend groups, is a collection of inside jokes that have become, like, fucking hell, even more inside as time goes on. Like, a lot of it stems from both our high school relationships and mostly tech class, I would say.
Tech class? Oh man.
It's always tech class.
Tech class was great.
Because
what a time.
The thing is, when you've got a whole bunch of young teenage guys all working together on a mechanical vehicle, we tend to, like, start to do weird things because we've now been given access to tools that have, like, possible danger to them, I would say. And there's also just the inherent mess that comes with a lot of automotive stuff.
That time, Totsky and Cam were pouring gas into the car, arguing about hockey. So as the story goes, two of our classmates in high school were pouring gas out of a jerry can into a car, and they were arguing about hockey. And they actually overfilled the car to the point where the gas was pouring down the side of the car because it was so full, and all over the floor. Empty jerry can, more than half onto the floor before they realized what they did. That was a great mess to think about.
And then there was that one time when we were doing the oil change, and I can't remember who was under the car, and oil was empty, but then there's still that
Julian?
filter.
Was Julian?
I think it was Julian. There was still the filter left, and we took the filter, and I think someone was underneath, took the filter out, and then turned it, but then didn't get away in time, and just get dumped on by like a full cup of oil. Hot oil.
There's that time Julian was on the creeper under the car, and he'd been irritating me earlier, so I just kind of like flicked him in the junk a little bit, and he hit his face off with the muffler of the car, and he was quite upset.
Indeed.
Huh.
See you, Steampunk Whore. Thanks for reminding me about the key items. Okay, if we don't get this in one or two more attempts, I'm gonna go fight Lagaris instead. I forgot.
It's been a pleasure, Steampunk.
How to properly fucking fight the goddamn boss. Also using like Dark Souls mentality of how you get some of these bosses to do damage to. So like mine is still Sif and large dragon mode.
Gangly arms.
Yes. I'm gonna go with that. But the thing is, the tree doesn't do that much damage.
No.